Oh, well, hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Sean.
I'm Eric, and we're here with Barb and Allan from doubleVee. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, indeed.
Of course. And this chat is very exciting because we are just on the other side of them having just released a brand new album, Treat Her Strangely, last week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
How's it been so far? Talk to me. What's
It's been good. We recorded and mixed this thing over a year ago. So COVID has brought us to this point. So we've heard these songs many times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. And so when did that process begin? You said over, a year ago in COVID. Like what prompted the beginning of this project, and talk us a little bit through the process.
Oh, well, yeah, early, I guess, March 2020, our music publisher actually asked if we were interested in maybe trying to do like a cover, just trying various like positive covers. And we made a list of things that we could try, and then just decided we'd really rather write some new material.
Well, we did do a cover first.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, a cover that we ended up not being.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about it.
I don't think so. Yeah, we ended up not being able to use it for legal reasons. So
you guys decided to make the original stuff then, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So just launched into it. Really, really one of the main ways we start making music is by going through Allan's hard drives, because he has, little snippets of ideas, hundreds and hundreds of, things that we could build on. And so for, I guess, 8 of the 9 tracks, were built off of either shorter segments or, Matador Bell off of the Starlight Men song Matador. And then The Questions Closed was one that we created from the ground up. And that's the last track on the album.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, we do a similar process. It's just like, I love just having basically a pile of a million little ideas that you never know when they're going to spark or when that where it comes from. You just, sometimes the time's not right, and then it'll hit.
Yeah. I think we kind of approached it where, we had maybe 30 songs or something, narrowed down 30 or something like that. And then I basically just kind of let Barb kind of pick, I was just kind of like, man, I've heard these ideas a million times, and what do you think, And so we kind of narrowed them down and then just discussed, how they would fit together.
Right. And then start fleshing them out. I mean, we did kind of do one by one. We would kind of like to start one and work it all the way to the end. And some of these were just like, 20 seconds that we then, write lyrics for and expand and, add harmonies and bridges. And
it was definitely a little different in the sense of kind of what we maybe used to doing is maybe doing groups of 3s, and going back and forth from song to song. This one we take a song and say, we're not going to touch another song until this song's done. And that's kind of a hard thing to do, but
it's very hard. Yeah.
We're getting better at it. It's like,
just knock them out.
Yeah. Like the last 3 songs went really, really well.
Do you feel the quality was improved on the songs that you do that for, or there's just a difference in the way it comes out in the end?
I think I don't know. I think that we're just getting used to it. I mean, I think we're getting used to working together, and it's a lot of it is lyrical, because the icing is always the lyrics. So we do all the arrangements and make sure that whatever drum fills and whatever little things are here and there, and then we get into the vocals, and maybe that changes things, the arrangement sometimes, but usually we have an idea of where the song's going, and then we just kind of get in our little Google Docs world. Just got our office up there, and I'll be down here, and we'll come together and either agree or disagree, or
Does the idea usually start with you and you bounce it off of Barb?
No, I mean, I think it goes either way. I mean, because it's usually there's usually some kind of colorful words or some kind of phrase or something. And then we just say, well, where's, what do you think? Is it he, she, because it could start a she, could be a he, could be a them, you agree?
Yeah, we would compromise, a little bit here and there.
Because we changed songs from he to she. We've had songs where I was singing lead, and she's, let's get her, she sounds better on it than I do, or whatever, So it's fun. It's fun. It's fun just having the two of us, to answer to,
Mm-hmm. And I was telling Barb, like, for questions closed, I think that was a great. Well, one, I like the video and the single. It's a great song, and I thought you did a great job singing on that, and just a really cool song in particular. Real
it's
standout
different than the rest.
A great closer. Yeah.
It's definitely. I mean, you always bands, famously have put in those type of songs on last.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Clash, Train in Vain, something like that. It kind of just felt like last song, and it was the last song we actually worked on, and it was the song, like she said, we built from the ground up. It was kind of like Barb's like, Barb was kind of like, well, this is kind of the feel I wanted of the song, kind of reference some different music, and then
it doesn't really sound like that
at all. Yeah.
But, no, I ran it upstairs. My iPhone was like, singing a melody idea, and then
over
kind of worked it out from there, and then lyrically, I mean, that was going one way, and then I just decided it needed to be a little more, universal. And
it is pretty universal.
It's very it's not use the word I, but it's not me singing, that kind of thing. It's it's a universal song for everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of
sorry,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, you were talking about your iPhones. Is that how you'll usually start a melody? You said in the bathroom, or what was that? That's
the attic.
The attic. I'm usually in the shower when I come up with something, and I hear it, and then the resonation of the water and the tiles helps me to just hear it well in there. But that usually you start with an iPhone with a melody like that?
It can be. I mean, we sing in the shower all the time too.
Yeah, but together. Yeah.
But just little weird improvisations, and it's funny. Like, it's freaking hot today.
It's weird.
Yes, it is.
It's weird. I kind of grew up on tape machines, so that was my first. Before like Macs were kind of music friendly. I had tape machines, and so went to that. Got my Mac, couple 20 years ago or so. But now I'm starting to, and this is kind of post this album, I'm starting to kind of write, or I'll start, using the iPhone, because I've never been really good at using phones until recently. So I have a list of songs now on the iPhone for the first time, with just me and a guitar.
That's sick. Opens up a whole new world.
Yeah.
So what's something that you guys did differently for this album, compared to, your previous releases?
Well, like I said, we had we had real brass and real strings.
Yeah.
And we had real brass in the first album too. So necessarily.
And we probably had real strings by me playing a little bit of cello or something here and there too. But kind of exclusively, every real string or brass part.
Right. Well, this is the first album we used our real piano on downstairs in the living room.
And we had to tune it. We had to tune it like after the fact. So that was kind of a pain in the butt, but we made it. We made it happen.
Yeah.
Now, how many of these instruments were yours, and how many did you have to rent and
We hired 3 musicians to handle.
Yeah.
Violin, viola was Brent Williams.
Which Brent's worked with the Mints in the past. The middle 2 albums. And then Kevin Webb is technically on the last 2 albums. Mints albums.
Kevin Webb, trombone.
Yeah. And then we found Christy
Wands, trumpet and piccolo trumpet. Found her online. We had another friend we were going to ask, and he wasn't available. So looked online, and she had really great credentials, had played for a touring production of Kinky Boots and Real Cool Girl. So we were lucky she was able to come. And this was all during, the height of the pandemic. And,
masking up.
So, we're masking up as much as we can. And
you get a trombone or a trumpet player, there's spit going everywhere.
Yeah.
So you're just like, get away from me.
Get that spit valve somewhere else, man.
That's great. No, I mean, it definitely shows, like I mentioned, it's, the orchestration and kind of the cinematic energy and excitement that all brings. Like, it sounds amazing. And it's something I've always really, really loved about the Mints and doubleVee. It's just such a really cool, exciting part of the whole vibe.
It's nice having the real deal, mixed in, of course, I said.
Yeah.
on some tracks. Like the middle side of me has quite a few. That was like a song that I was really afraid going into the mix world. Like, how are we going to mix this? Because it was literally like stacks of strings and brass and of all sorts, the real deal, double takes, then samples.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah. We made it happen.
Nice.
And you guys do, I think I saw you guys do the mixing yourself, or at least co-mix, or what's that part of the process like?
What's co-mixing? Sharon at 115 recording. Yeah, we spent almost 6 days together. Mixing. I mean, you normally kind of send off your album, say, hey, make some tweaks, and you can listen to it and ask for a couple of rounds. And we just are not comfortable working like that. We like to be in on every single second of it. So we kind of move in with Wes during that time.
And we have a really good relationship with Wes. Yeah. I've known him since, and we went to high school together. And we are a really good fit with him. And he kind of makes us sound bigger. Yeah,
we do. All of the recording and producing, that end of it here at home, but then the final mix and master there with Wes.
Yeah, like the drums are one thing that we do change a little bit with Wes, where we have been on the last EP in this album. We did like cymbals, like we did like hi-hats and crashes here, and we used drum machine. We made the drum machine sound good here, the way we liked it, but he would switch out like the kicks and snares and stuff, which I think really makes it sound a little bit better.
A little more live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you just, gotta trust the sound guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, definitely. And how did you split up the duties on the different instruments, on the album? Like, do you guys have, hey, this is the parts that we do, or does it kind of mix? And
we do a lot of sequencing. So, I mean, we'll have like, sequence kind of the, say the piano parts, and then we'll have Barb, record the piano parts downstairs, on the piano, stuff like that. And I usually do guitar and bass duties. So
keys involved is me, and
synth stuff.
A lot of the rest is.
It's just really cool that you guys have such like a vast grasp on so many instruments. Can I maybe get a little background on how you started on your instruments? Which ones, both of you, kind of was your first?
Well, I sorry.
Go ahead.
I grew up. I was adopted, first of all, and I grew up in sort of a non-musical family, so I had to kind of fight, a little bit to sort of. So we had an old rickety piano, and I remember just as a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, picking out melodies and stuff from movies or whatever. Getting piano lessons a little, maybe 10-ish, and then started cello maybe a little bit after that, 11, 12, and viola, and then finally got a guitar.
How old were you then?
Probably like 12 or 13.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that changed everything. I wanted a guitar for so long, and finally got my hands on one.
What kind of
guitar? It was just some old PV, crappy PV.
Sweet.
That's actually worth a lot of money now. Yeah. I don't know why. Just nostalgia.
I feel you, because I started at 13 too, having done saxophone in marching band, and I got a Jackson $200 from the Center, the reverse headstock edition.
Nice.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys both like a horn or like in brass, certain brass? I thought I read something.
Yep, saxophone also. Yeah. Marching band and all that.
So you know a lot of jazz stuff? Because I've started teaching a little jazz. I have a student that was like wanting to do in the jazz band. I was like,
I did jazz band. Yeah.
So
I did baritone sax in jazz band.
So, but theory wise, did you ever study theory?
No, not enough to really get to know.
It's pretty crazy. Like, I started doing that a little bit, like about 4 months ago, and I was like, what am I getting myself into?
And over your head. I know. You're like, I really got to study again now.
Yeah. But it's very interesting for sure. But I'm glad that I'm not doing that right now. So.
Yeah, we got to focus on the album.
Barb? I grew up in a musical family, and just singing at the piano with my mom and sister, from a really young age.
Your grandma.
And grandmother was a composer and playwright.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
So kind of in the blood. But yeah, I started playing piano as a youngster, and that's been my main instrument. I played xylophone briefly in elementary school until the other xylophone player kept hitting me with his stick. So I quit.
Or her.
Yes. Played violin for 1 year, but yeah, no, piano has always been like my main instrument. So, and vocals. So.
Yeah.
He reads music. I don't really read. I mean,
that's really hard because I always respect people who can do that.
We're kind of, that's our yin and yang sort of.
Mm-hmm.
She can read, if I have a problem with something, like musically, is this a sharp or flat or a neutral or whatever? Natural, not neutral.
Neutral.
It's an F neutral.
It's a good band name.
Yeah.
And Barb, how big of an influence was your grandma for you then? If she seemed like she was
I think she's a big influence
performer
on us.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely on us. She passed away at the age of 56 from a sudden heart attack.
Oh.
So never really got the recognition I think she would have eventually. I mean, she sat there with the tape recorder on her piano bench and would record herself singing, and a lot of originals and some covers and things. And Allan and I took one of her songs early on in our relationship and orchestrated it out and added me singing backup vocals as a surprise gift for my mom. Just put headphones on her and said, "Hey, listen to this," just see the look on her face.
We added like bass and we added strings and bass and stuff like that too.
Full production.
Like a full production.
Off of a tape.
But we come from different backgrounds for sure. Mm-hmm. I mean, his family was not musical and kind of took a while to.
I was just talking the mic.
Oh, okay. It was, we really brought together by movie music. A mutual friend kind of pointed me out after he moved to town and saying, "This is Barb. She used to host a movie music program." And Allan figured out that, I used to listen to that program.
Yeah.
Really?
Public radio, filmscapes. And so
that's cool.
Kind of made that early.
Yeah. I remember like exactly where I was whenever I first heard her voice, which is so strange because I did not know there was a syndicated movie music program on the radio. And I remember it was at night when I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Really? Okay. What was the station? Just curious.
It was 90.1 KCSC. It was out of the University of Central Oklahoma.
Nice.
It was kind of my first post-college job.
Right. That's awesome. I always wanted to get a job in broadcasting. That was my degree too. So.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
But,
well, you're doing it now.
There you go. Podcasts are the next. Yeah. They're good.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So he heard you, and was it just love at first hear?
Well, I think it took a while. I think it was like maybe 10 years later before we met.
Oh, okay. Well, you in your head, I meant.
Yeah. I didn't put it when we met. I don't think I didn't put it together.
Yeah, the very first time, I mean, this was a couple of weeks later, then it was a different friend. The very first time we were introduced, he thought that I was much younger than I actually was. So we spoke briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
he had just moved to town, kind of a long story, but.
Yeah. Derek he used to play with the Mints, plays with the Flaming Lips now.
Oh, sweet.
Introduced us at a
Benefit for Haiti.
Yeah, Benefit for Haiti. So that tells you what year? 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
From there, when did the music start getting made between you guys?
Well, I moved in.
He moved in about
3-4 months after that.
3 or 4 months later. And I guess that first Christmas we did a cover of Dream a Little Dream of Me for family.
For family,
as a gift. And then just kind of went from there, started to delve into working on originals that then turned into our
it took a couple of years before we were kind of like, we can do this kind of thing, It was just I was working on a lot of film, like scoring stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then working with other people, like doing their band stuff,
producing
stuff. Yeah, like the guy in New York, and then a local band, Skating Polly. who are kind of big now. Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
Nice. And did I see that you guys are gearing up for a live show? I saw something on social media about that.
We've been practicing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
prior to this, we've been a
COVID's still,
band.
COVID's still crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the record. The heat here is unbelievable.
Yeah, we set a record yesterday.
Where are you guys? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oklahoma City.
Oh, you guys are in Oklahoma still? Okay.
Yeah. It was like 116 or something yesterday.
No, it was 110. But
it felt like 116 or something.
It was a record.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're playing it, very carefully. I mean, we're not going out at this time. We're kind of waiting for the vaccines to be reformulated and catch up to the latest strain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've been laying very low throughout this whole ordeal. So we'll wait and see until we're comfortable thinking that we'll be safe and the audiences will be safe,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course. That's great.
Yeah. We, can't wait to actually get to see you guys. And what kind of stage show will you guys have? Is that with some additional musicians too?
Oh, yeah. We've recruited 2 members. We initially thought about, we could just do the 2 of us, but it would just be better to have 2 We've got our drummer.
We want drums and bass,
yeah,
and then
bassist, and he's covering some guitar and a little bit of backup vocals, and 2 really great guys. And we were having a really great time practicing, when it just got so hot, and the space we're practicing in, isn't air conditioned, and it's just not safe to even attempt it right now.
It's like perfect when it's not hot. This practice place is like ideal place, but yeah. So we're just kind of holding off practicing ourselves a little here.
Things have just been really busy trying to, the album release stuff. So we're going to get back into
for sure
practicing and working on, videos to go project behind us and that kind of thing. And work more on the stage presentation. So it's more than just, hey, here we are. It's an experience.
Absolutely. Cool.
Definitely we'll have interactive stuff going on.
Yeah, well, really care to expand on that? Yeah, looks like you guys are.
I mean,
arm wrestling.
We're still working. We're still working on it. I mean, there's some programs that I'm looking into, like kind of more 3D type programs, like for projecting and stuff.
Nice.
So we'll see how that comes. I mean, we're still that's a ways away, but we'll probably it'll be tempo synced type stuff that will be exclusive to the song.
Right, visual elements.
Yeah, that will be,
right.
So
Sweet.
Choreography,
Yeah. You'll be doing some dancing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds just like me.
Looking forward to that. Good stuff, guys. Yeah. We definitely wanted to get you guys on the podcast because Eric turned me on to you, and the music's great. Your guys' vibe is great, and I'm just kind of learning about the process of an album through, people who have made them before helps us because we're, on our freshman album right now. And it's really cool to see your guys' progress. And we hope to kind of like follow kind of like what you guys do. It's a really cool model, especially for 2 people.
Right.
We have a lot of similarities there.
Sure do. Your Never Ending Story cover that spoke to me. I love that song.
Thank you.
Yeah, great song.
Yeah, it's always hit home. Oh God, yeah. Quinn in this case, but
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
Thank you.
Make a sequel to that?
They did. They made 2.
2?
They made 2 of them. The second one was, I forget the guy's name, but he was the kid in the movie Ladybugs with Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
And he committed suicide in the 90s too, which was kind of sad. So there's always like a dark stain on his movies. And then there was just like a wretched 3rd movie that they made.
With Jack Black, I believe, of all.
Really?
Yeah. It's
terrible though.
Yeah, it's like The Matrix. It's like, darn, they should have made sequels, and you just don't even talk about the sequels.
I kind of want to see it. Jack Black's in it.
I kind of do too. I don't remember that, but just don't see the new Matrix though. Yeah.
I just saw something where they had Jack Black interviewing Bob Odenkirk on stage, or they were interviewing each other, and it was very interesting.
I love both of them, so that must have been great. Yeah.
I'm a big Mr. Show fan, so.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Bob and David brings us back. 90s kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we really enjoyed talking to you guys, and thank you for your interest and support. And Eric, of course, our Beyond Blue connection. Both of us have,
of course,
songs on the soundtrack, which is really awesome.
Absolutely. No, it's just so great to actually sit down and chat with you guys. I know it's been a couple of years now, just kind of talking about that. So it's awesome. Very, very exciting. I know. I can't believe it.
Yeah, very cool.
Let's definitely do it again soon. Link up, and we want to tell everybody to check them out, and we're going to give them all your guys' info as well, and attach that at the bottom in the description below too. So thank you guys so much.
Oh, we did get a cat. My other cat. Hold on. Oh, here we go. In the 11th hour. This is Benny, who's not in the Never-Ending Story, but he's our regal tuxie that.
He's our rock biter.
Yeah.
Oh, cute.